In this video, we're going to look at objects for JavaScript. Hey guys, John Elder here from Codemy.com, and in this video, we're going to look at objects in JavaScript. And objects are very much like dictionaries in Python or hashes in Ruby. They're basically a more complicated list, a more complicated array. It allows us to keep track of more information and more complicated, interesting information. Now, don't get a JavaScript object confused with object-oriented programming. These are not that type of objects. It's a little bit confusing because when you think classes, class-based programming, object-oriented programming, you think of objects. That's not what this is. This is basically a Python dictionary in JavaScript form, and that's what we're going to look at in this video. So let's head over to our code. I'm using the Sublime Text Editor in the Git Bash terminal as always. And as always, you can find a link to the code in the pinned comment section below, as well as a link to the playlist with all the other videos in this JavaScript series. So check that out if you haven't so far. So I've got our starter code that we've been working on in the last few videos, and I've renamed it objects.html. So let's come down here and let's just create an object. And we do this the same way we create anything, an array, a variable, anything. We just sort of name it. So let's say let, and let's call this a person object. And we want to set this equal to. Now with an array, we use brackets and then we put the things like that. With an object, we use curly brackets. And usually objects contain more than one item and more than several items, right? So you're not going to usually put these on one line like an array. We're usually going to put these on multiple lines like this. So we usually break these curly brackets apart. In a Python dictionary, you have key value pairs. And with an object in JavaScript, you also have key value pairs. We don't call them key value pairs. We call them name value pairs, but it's basically the exact same thing. So let's say name value pairs. So to create one of these, we just start naming them. So what does a person have? Well, our person's going to have a first name, and then we separate them by colon, right? Now, what's the first name for this object? Let's call it John. Now, each sort of name value pair is separated by a comma, right? Sort of like an array, each item in the array is separated with a comma. So, okay, there we go. And we might also have a last name, and let's say Elder. And then we might have an age. So let's say 46. Now you'll notice here, this is a string, so they're in quotation marks. I've used double quotation marks. You could also use single quotation marks. It really doesn't matter. Either one, I try to be consistent. And then our number here doesn't have quotation marks because anytime we're dealing with numbers, be it a variable, an array, an object, anything at all, you never use quotation marks for that. And then, I don't know what else we need. Let's say email, and let's say john@codemy.com. Now this is the last item, so we don't have to have a comma there, so I'll just leave that off. And this is our object. So we can come down here and just like an array, if we want to just print this whole thing out, we can go person. If we save this, head back over to our web browser. I'm in my C JavaScript directory, and let's find our objects.html. And when we do, we just get this object. So in an array, it will print out the entire array if you do this. With an object, it just gives you this object. So in a sense, this is like a class-based object-oriented object. You know, when you try to print out an object with class-based programming, object-oriented programming, you're going to get something like this usually. These things are kind of similar, but it's not the same thing as an object in object-oriented programming. It's more like a dictionary. So instead, to access any of these things, we can do it a couple of different ways. We can use dot notation. So let's go dot first name, right? So if we do that, we head back over here, boom, we're going to get John, right? That's dot notation. That's very popular, very easy to use. You can also, very much like an array, use the brackets. So if we said age, for instance, come back over here and hit reload. Well, we need a quotation marks actually. So there we go. And now we come back over here and hit reload, we get 46. Now, just like an array, just like a variable, this is a number. So we can do numbery things, right? So we could say plus 10 if we wanted to, right? So if we come back over here and hit reload, boom, it becomes 56 because 46 is a number. It is an integer. We could do numbery type things to it, right? So just kind of keep that in mind. And that's really kind of all there is to it. So let's say array notation. That's not the official word for this, but I'm going to call it that. And here, let's call dot notation. And I'm going to also comment this out and change this to dot age, just so we have an example here in the code if you want to look at the code later on my GitHub repository. So, okay, this is interesting. We've got this thing. We can access things out of it. How can we loop through here and get every item out of here and say print them onto the screen? So let's loop through. I'm going to use our trusty for loop, and let's go for I in person. and then do it like this. And I'm just going to copy this guy. Now, you might be tempted to just print out I. Well, if we do that, it's going to be kind of interesting and not probably what you expect. It's going to give us, this is from the first bit of code, it's going to give us the name of the name value pair, right? So first name, last name, age, and email, which is not at all what we want, right? So in order to actually pull out the thing, we have to call person and then I. Now, you might be tempted to go dot notation with this. You cannot use dot notation for a for loop for some reason. I have no idea why. It just gives us a bunch of undefines, right? So actually, let's put another line break here to separate these two. So what we have to do is use the bracket notation, I guess, or array notation. Let's call this bracket notation. I don't know what it's actually called, but bracket notation seems better than array notation. So, okay, if we do it like this, we can come back through here, and now we get John Elder 46 and john@codemy.com, which is what we want to see there. So if we wanted, something like, we could go I and then plus, and then a colon and a space, hit a plus. If we wanted to get really tricky with this, we could do it like that. Come back over here, and now it says first name John, last name Elder, age 46, email john@codemy.com. If you want all of the information out of there, that's how you would do that. So those are objects very much like a Python dictionary or a Ruby hash. A little bit confusing because they're called objects, and we think of objects as an object in a class-based, object-oriented programming thing, which is very different than this, but also kind of similar. I don't know. It's very weird. I don't know why they call these objects. They could have just called them hashes or dictionaries or anything else but objects, but JavaScript is confusing. There we go. So that's all for this video. If you like this video, check out codemy.com, where I have dozens of courses with thousands of videos to teach you to code. Use coupon code YouTube50 to get 50% off lifetime membership. It's all my courses, videos, and books for one-time fee, which is insanely cheap. My name is John Elder from codemy.com, and I'll see you in the next video.